Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for another Sunday meditation with Calgary Mindfulness. Let's begin with a deep breath, just planting our feet firmly on the ground, stretching up the torso, thinking of the mindful body, a position that is strong and straight, but flexible and easy, calling to mind the image of a mountain or of a tree whose base and roots spread further than we can see. And just inhaling deeply and stretching up, relaxed and easy into this mindful and strong posture. Beginning our practice by reconnecting with the true strength and resilience of our minds and bodies. And we will be continuing our self-care series this week, continuing with loving kindness meditation. This is a very fruitful practice. And so looking forward to continuing to develop our ability to receive loving kindness. So that's what we'll be focusing on today. And let's anchor the body through our senses before we begin our theme for the day. Just noticing the sounds around us as we continue to lift the body, holding our position that is strong and straight. As we continue to breathe, noticing the rise and fall of the torso. So rooting and centering our focus in these two important anchors, the breath and the body. And then directing a little bit of our attention now to listening. What do I hear within? What do I hear without? Noticing time slowing down, the sense of racing and the need to drive forward begins to slow down as we collect ourselves in the present moment. There is nowhere to get to, and there's nothing to worry about that's already been. We are here, we are now. Allowing the belly to relax, the face to relax, allowing the hands to relax in our laps. And inhaling and exhaling deeply, noticing the rise and fall of the torso. Relaxing the belly, relaxing the hands, the shoulders, the face. And paying attention to little things that we normally don't notice, the feel of fabric under our fingers. Perhaps you can notice the fall of your hair on your clothes or ears. Noticing your scalp. Rubbing your fingertips together and feeling the ridges of skin. And just slowing down. Noticing the rise and fall of the breath as the breath begins to deepen and lengthen. We have let go of rushing around, of crossing off the next thing on our list. We have let go of fixing. We live in a culture where even the interest in caring for our bodies as simply and as naturally, meaning, fewer pharmaceuticals and tapping into the body's wisdom, following our circadian sleep cycles, keeping a balanced mind, body, and spirit. Even addressing our mental and physical self-care in these holistic ways can get us stuck on this the freight train of I need to fix myself, I need to do better, I need to improve myself, I am always forward moving and forward thinking. And so looking to step off of that for a moment to appreciate we are already there. And as meditators, our most important work is inside out. And we live in a world where that is not accepted by most people. So if you are here looking, searching, practicing, you are on the leading edge of planet Earth. And you will not travel in crowds thinking this way. Wayne Dyer used to say, it is not crowded on the extra mile. So let's be the extra mile together in our virtual community here and in our physical community when we meet in the warmer months in Calgary, in nice parts of the city. And so just sitting in stillness and observing this need to fix, change, transform, understand, control, and looking to let that go. Understanding that we are already there, that our small shifts in mind and thinking can deliver miracles. Just notice for a moment what it feels like to let go of punishing our bodies for being too old, too fat, too hairy, too ugly, too this, too that, not fitting some artificial, impossible standard. For a moment, let that go and remember what it was like to feel like a child, at ease in our bodies, comfortable with difference, and not worrying about fitting in and not worrying about the opinions of others. What does it feel like to surrender that? Can we have that again? Can we allow ourselves this wonderful privilege and pleasure of letting go of self-judgment, of letting go of the need to put ourselves in some earthly box? And we are approaching our theme for the day in my roundabout way. Again, offering ourselves loving kindness as each thought of self-attack arises, giving ourselves permission to observe these thoughts, sit with them, but understand that they don't have to define and control us. Allowing them to pass, allowing ourselves to suffuse ourselves with the light of loving kindness. And sitting in silence as each thought arises, bringing it to light and allowing it to pass. Secure in the knowledge of our strength, of our connection to source energy, to God. There is nothing to work on and fix. Allowing the shoulders to rise and fall and the belly to inhale and exhale, rise and fall. As we continue to breathe, observing our thoughts, allowing them to pass, wrapping ourselves in a mantle of loving kindness, of compassion, of acceptance. I, in this moment, accept myself fully, completely, without reservations, exactly as I am. I am comfortable in my mind and body, exactly as I am, this perfect, imperfect, flawed being. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. Noticing the rise and fall of the shoulders and the torso. Noticing the plant of the feet flat on the floor and firm. The straight, strong spine, flexible and easy. And inhaling and exhaling deeply. Sitting with the thought of our own bodies. This thing that never seems within our control, never quite fixed, never working the way we want it to, never looking the way we want it to. Let's love this perfect, imperfect vehicle that carries us on this journey. Accepting ourselves exactly as is with great compassion. What a risk it takes to do that. What a leap forward. How hard it feels, because perhaps if we let go of these judgments, we feel we won't actually take care of ourselves. When in fact, it might be the opposite. Many of our neuroses that arise from punishing ourselves with, unmindful eating or other types of unhealthy substitutions for self-care, a lot of that comes from our neuroses about not accepting our minds and bodies as the way we are, punishing ourselves, self-sabotage, so that we can continue to believe the ugly things we believe about ourselves. It's a weird little vicious cycle. Let's get out of it. Aren't you sick of it? Let's get out of it. All we have to do is be willing to let it go. Imagine for 10 seconds, for 17 seconds, for 68 seconds. What does it feel like to hold ourselves in true compassion? How alien it feels. How wonderful it feels. Let's sit with this for a few moments longer. And always with gratitude that at any moment, with our free will and our willingness, we can change our minds. We can change our hearts. We can change our complete perception about everything. And reminding ourselves that as meditators, that's where the work begins, is inside out. That's where we make change on the outside world, is inside out. Let's commit to carrying this with us through the week. This interest, this gentle interest and earnestness about holding ourselves in compassion, about caring for ourselves gently. Let's commit to carrying this through for the week. I invite you to journal on this topic in case many repetitive thoughts have come to mind during our practice. Often writing them down it really facilitates letting them go. And so if you are able to take a moment, whether you write in a journal, type in your computer, or talk into your phone, any of these three are very helpful. For anyone who would like to join our practice live, you are absolutely welcome. We meet every Sunday morning unless there is vacation, which actually next Sunday I may be on vacation. We meet at 8 o'clock Mountain Time. And this video is available for streaming on YouTube, or it's available as an audio podcast on any of your favorite podcast softwares. I invite you to write me, to send in your questions and comments that guide our practice at calgarymindfulness@gmail.com. And please visit the website for loads and loads of resources, articles, videos, audios, scheduling, workshop ideas, etc. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. Have a wonderful week.